You eat a normal dinner. 20 minutes later, your heart's racing, you're sweating through your shirt, the room tilts, and you're doing the math on whether you can stand up. That has a name, and as of 2024, it finally has its own rating code. I'm holding the desk today with Liam and Emma alongside me. And this one is overdue.
Diagnostic code 7303, chronic complications of upper gastrointestinal surgery, created in May 2024. Am I close in saying nothing like it existed before?
By definition, no. The old schedule had one code for life after stomach surgery. It capped at 60%, and its instructions were 3 adjectives. We'll get there.
The new code covers operations on the esophagus, the stomach, the pancreas, and the small intestine, and the note says it in plain words, including bariatric surgery.
That's a note a lot of people have been waiting to hear read out loud.
And the ceiling moved to 80% minus, with a tier for veterans being fed by vein or tube that simply never existed under the old code.
We already ran this experiment on this channel twice. A rewrite moves a ceiling, nobody sends a letter, and the people it's about find out years late. So today, the 5 tiers, the strange rule inside them, and what to count.
Lewis, before you bring the professor in, what actually is dumping syndrome doing to the body?
That's exactly where Professor Antonov starts. The tiers, the inversion, the money, and the vitamin note that pays separately minus all coming. One thing before the next part, and then we move right on. If any of this is clicking, tap that like, hit subscribe, and ring the bell for the next one. It takes a second, it costs nothing, and it helps more than you would think. Professor Antonov, same seat as always. What does a rebuilt stomach actually do wrong?
It stops being a reservoir. An intact stomach holds a meal back and releases it slowly. Take part of it away or bypass it, and food lands in the small intestine all at once. The gut pulls in fluid to cope. Blood pressure drops. Insulin overshoots. That crash at the table is dumping syndrome. The plumbing works. The timing is destroyed.
Read us the ladder.
0% is the operation healed and quiet. 10 is nausea or vomiting that needs ongoing medical treatment. 30 needs 2 or more from a list, vomiting twice a week or more, pain within an hour of eating that forces ongoing dietary modification, or 3 to 5 watery bowel movements every day. 50 needs any one of a harder list. Daily vomiting despite diet and medication. 6 or more watery bowel movements a day, or meal-induced near fainting with sweating, on medication specifically for dumping syndrome or delayed gastric emptying.
Antonov, hold on me to 5T takes 1 symptom and 30 takes 2?
You read it correctly, and we'll sit with that in a minute, because it decides real money. And 80% is continuous total parenteral nutrition or tube feeding for more than 30 consecutive days in the last 6 months, feeding that bypasses the ruined timing entirely.
And by definition, that 30-day window is checkable. TPN gets charted every single day it runs.
Every bag, every day with a date. Of all the 80% criteria in this schedule, this is among the most provable.
Thank you, Professor. 5 tiers, and every rung is a number somebody can count.
I want to show you what this replaced, because the old rulebook's entire theory of life after stomach surgery fit in one paragraph. Section 4.111. One paragraph describing dumping syndrome in 1960s language. The rewrite didn't update it, it deleted it, and marked the section reserved.
And the rating code underneath it -me for 7308, post-gastrectomy syndromes graded you on 3 words, severe 60%, moderate 40, mild 20.
We already ran this experiment with the bowel resection episode. Adjectives are cheap for the government and expensive for you, because 2 honest raters read severe differently and the file can't argue back.
Am I close in saying the new code has no adjectives at all?
By definition, every rung is counted, times per week, movements per day, consecutive days on TPN. The word severe appears nowhere in 7303.
And the old codes didn't vanish, they root. Post-gastrectomy syndrome, stomach stenosis, stomach injury residuals. The schedule now sends all 3 to the new code.
which matters for one specific person, the veteran rated years ago under 7308, sitting at 40 or 60. Their condition now lives under a code with an 80% ceiling, $2,102.15 against the old cap of $1,435.
Emma, $667 a month between those ceilings.
And 13 cents. $8,000 a year for the worst affected people on a vocabulary change.
Professor Antonov, explain the inversion, because on first read it looks like a drafting mistake.
It isn't one. The two lists measure different diseases, effectively. The 30% list is disruption, mucally vomiting, meal pain, 3 to 5 loose movements a day. Any one of those alone is a bad month. 2 together are a changed life. The 50% list is a different magnitude per item. Vomiting every day despite treatment. 6 or more watery movements every day. Fainting at meals on targeted medication. Any single one of those dominates a life by itself, so one is enough.
So the practical reading, by definition, if any one symptom off the harder list is true, you're not a 30% case, and the difference is $580.43 a month.
And people undersell exactly this. Am I close in guessing the daily vomiting veteran describes it at the exam as an upset stomach?
Constantly. The word daily is doing all the work in that sentence, and it only reaches a rater if somebody says it and somebody writes it.
There's a second gift in this code's notes, the pancreas one.
Note 2. If pancreatic surgery causes a vitamin or mineral deficiency, B12, iron, calcium, the fat-soluble vitamins, the deficiency is evaluated under its own code, and the rater assigns the higher rating. The regulation names the comparison and instructs the generous answer.
With the usual fence around everything, the digestive codes from 7301 through 7329 don't combine with each other. One evaluation, predominant picture, possibly stepped up once.
Thank you, Professor Antonov.
I'll accept that and leave one dissent standing. This code rewards precise counting, and sick people are terrible historians of their own worst days. The fix is boring, and it works. Write it down the day it happens.
So here's the homework, and this episode is shorter than most because the code does the structuring for you. Keep the count. Vomiting is measured per week at 30 and per day at 50. Bowel movements are measured per day at both. A 4-week diary in your own handwriting, brought to the exam, is exactly the shape of evidence these rungs are written in.
Get the dietary modification prescribed. By definition of the criteria, ongoing oral dietary modification is literally in the 30% list, and a clinician writing small frequent meals in the chart is what makes it exist.
TPN or tube feeding. Exact dates. The 80% rung wants more than 30 consecutive days in the last 6 months. Infusion records carry that to the day.
And if the surgery touched your pancreas, pull the vitamin and mineral labs, because Note 2 turns a low B12 into its own separately scored question, and the rater takes the higher answer.
2 honest limits. Nothing in the rewrite rereads old ratings automatically. The veteran sitting at 40 under the old post-gastrectomy code stays there until somebody asks. We're not going to pretend a letter is coming.
And on bariatric surgery, the code covers those operations by name, but whether any particular surgery is service-connected is its own separate fight we haven't researched here. Am I close, Lewis, in saying we'd rather under-promise on that one?
You're exactly right. We already ran this experiment enough times to know a half-checked claim helps nobody. If you only hold one thing from this, the misery after the meal is now a counted, coded, compensable thing, and the count only exists if you keep it.
And the schedule never mails you a note when it learns your condition's name.
So subscribe if this earned it. The next one of these lands in front of somebody still calling daily vomiting an upset stomach. A whole syndrome lived in one deleted paragraph for 60 years. What symptom have you been underselling at your exams? Keep the diary, date the feeding, pull the labs, look after yourselves, and Erica's back next episode, fridge willing.